You've been told the Great Wall of China is the largest man-made structure on Earth. But what if I told you that deep beneath the African rainforest lies an ancient defensive system so vast, so complex, that it rivals one of the greatest engineering achievements in human history? Stretching across what is now southern Nigeria are thousands of kilometers of moats and ramparts known as the Benin Earthworks, combined with Sungbo's Eredo. These ancient structures form one of the largest man-made earthwork systems ever built. While the Great Wall of China stretches over 21,000 kilometers in total, the African earthworks represent one of the largest continuous archaeological earthwork systems ever discovered. Built centuries before European contact, these defenses protected thriving urban kingdoms. They were built by the Edo people of the powerful Kingdom of Benin. At its sake, Benin City was a sophisticated urban center with organized streets, advanced political systems, and master craftsmen known worldwide for bronze artistry. Further west, near Igibo, lie Sungbo's Eredo, a massive ring of earthworks spanning approximately 160 kilometers in circumference. The Kingdom of Benin, which reached its zenith between the 13th and 19th centuries, was a highly organized and sophisticated society. At its heart was the Oba, a divine king who held both political and spiritual authority. The Obaha was the focal point of the kingdom, and the capital, Benin City, was designed to reflect his central importance. The city was a bustling metropolis, renowned for its complex political structure, vibrant trade, and extraordinary artistic traditions. European visitors from the 15th century onwards were astonished, describing a city of great avenues, orderly houses, and a magnificent royal palace. One of the most enduring legacies of Benin's culture are the famous bronze plaques. These weren't just decorations. They were historical records. Commissioned by the Obas, these intricate artworks lined the pillars of the royal palace, depicting key events, royal ceremonies, and mythological figures. They served as a visual archive, preserving the kingdom's history, lineage, and social values for future generations. Masterfully crafted using the lost wax casting technique, these bronzes are considered some of the finest works of art ever produced in Africa, showcasing a level of metallurgical skill that rivaled that of Renaissance Europe. The art and the architecture of Benin were deeply intertwined, both expressions of the kingdom's power, stability, and cultural richness. Now, let's talk about the walls themselves, known locally as Zia. These weren't just simple defensive barriers. They were a monumental public works project, an intricate system of moats and ramparts that stretched for an estimated 16,000 kilometers. The primary earthworks encircled the capital city, with a complex web of smaller walls extending outwards to protect hundreds of towns and villages. The construction was a marvel of engineering and social organization. It was accomplished without modern machinery, using only manual labor. Millions of cubic meters of earth were moved, dug out to create deep moats, and piled high to form steep walls. The sheer scale of this undertaking speaks volumes about the Oba's ability to command and organize immense labor forces over centuries. It's estimated that the construction may have involved more material than the Great Pyramid of Giza. The design was also genius. The steep B-shaped moats were difficult to climb, and the high earthen walls provided a formidable defense against invaders. But they were more than just military structures. The walls served as clear lines of demarcation, separating rural communities from urban centers and delineating administrative territories. They were a physical manifestation of the kingdom's social order, a symbol of unity, and a clear statement of Benin's power and permanence. The planning required was immense, suggesting a deep understanding of surveying and large-scale project management that has been tragically overlooked by history. Local legends connected to a powerful female leader. Archaeologists date it back nearly 1,000 years. What makes it astonishing is not just its size, but its precision. This era of prosperity and stability came to a brutal end in 1897. The British Empire, seeking to expand its control over the lucrative palm oil and rubber trade in the region, saw the independent Kingdom of Benin as an obstacle. Using a disastrous, unsanctioned visit by a British official as a pretext, they launched what was called a punitive expedition. In reality, it was a full-scale military invasion. A force of 1,200 well-armed British soldiers marched on Benin City. The city's defenders, armed with far less advanced weaponry, fought bravely, but were ultimately overwhelmed. The consequences were devastating. The British forces systematically looted Benin City, setting it ablaze and burning it to the ground. The great palace of the Oba was destroyed. Most tragically, thousands of priceless artifacts were stolen, including the historic bronze plaques that chronicled the kingdom's history. These treasures were shipped to Britain and sold off to museums and private collectors across the world to pay for the cost of the invasion. The reigning Oba was exiled, the kingdom was dismantled, and its territory was absorbed into the British colonial empire. In just a few weeks, centuries of history, culture, and sovereign rule were violently extinguished. The fires that consumed Benin City also marked the beginning of the Earthworks' slow disappearance, as the jungle began its relentless process of reclaiming the abandoned structures. These were not simple dirt piles. Workers excavated deep moats and used the displaced earth to construct towering ramparts. In some sections, the walls and ditches were higher than a two-story building. This required coordination, planning, and centralized governance, proof of advanced pre-colonial engineering. When British forces invaded Benin in 1897, much of the city was destroyed. Over time, forests swallowed the earthworks. Colonial narratives minimized Africa's architectural achievements, and these walls faded from global memory. But the earth remembers. Today, archaeologists use satellite imaging and LiDAR technology to map what the eye cannot see beneath the rainforest canopy. Thousands of kilometers of ancient engineering are being rediscovered. Human civilization has always been interconnected in brilliance. From China's stone walls to Egypt's pyramids and Africa's earth ramparts, greatness was never confined to one continent. The walls of Africa were never lost. They were hidden, and as history is rewritten, the world is finally beginning to see what stood here all along, a masterpiece of African ingenuity.